Hi, here is Jaguar again and the Woman's School inspirational videos. And today I wanted to talk a little bit about one of the most key, most cool, most important things in the Woman's School. And as you can see, it's evening and we have a very red theme. I even have this beautiful red scarf on, which was gifted to me by my beautiful, beautiful friend. And it is a pleasure to be here and a pleasure to be seeing you here from my red cave. And as some of you may know, the colour red is also really associated with the feminine and with the inner path of womanhood, the inner path of the feminine, the inner path of listening to the divine feminine, to the mother, to the wise woman within yourself. And our topic today has a little bit to do with caring for ourselves, caring for our souls, caring for our innermost beings. And I wanted to share a brief quote with you that I completely adore and love, which is from the book Care of the Soul by Thomas Moore, M-O-O-R-E. And in it says, as we stop to consider what is happening to us and what we're made of, the soul ferments, to use an alchemical word. Change takes place, but not according to plan, or as a result of intentional intervention. If you attend the soul closely enough, with an educated and steadfast imagination, changes take place without you being aware of them, until they are all over and well in place. And it's a beautiful quote that relates to how important it is for us to trust these processes of the soul, and that caring for the soul has a lot to do with paying really close attention to ourselves and using our heart, using our imagination, using our senses, using our feeling world to communicate and be with the soul, be with the part of ourselves that is intangible, with the part of ourselves that lives between the worlds, that is not quite transcendental, spiritual nothingness, and that is not quite material, dense earthiness, and that is somehow marrying heaven and earth in itself, that is somehow able to dance and play and cry and sing and talk in between the worlds. And the soul often shows itself to us in ways that are mysterious and that ask our attention, that guide us. It has a voice that lives in the body, it has a voice that lives in our dreams, in our yearnings, in our heart, in our imagination, in our fantastical discoveries, in our curiosity, in our love. And the soul is something that I am thoroughly, most deeply, most dedicated to, absolutely committed to, and the soul plays an absolutely important role in the Women's School. And one of the really important aspects of caretaking of the soul and being a guardian to your own soul and providing guardianship of soulfulness is this ability to be with and observe and pay attention to these things, these intangible, feeling-centered, heart-centered, body feeling-centered things that we call as an expression of the soul, and letting go of this urge that we sometimes have as human beings to improve ourselves and to fix ourselves and to provide therapy and healing to ourselves and to somehow make ourselves different and better than we are, rather than having this deep curiosity and exploration of who we actually are, what our soul actually is, because our soul is so deep and so mysterious that we may not entirely fathom it if we spend our whole lives dedicated to exploring our soul. And this dedication to the soul, this reverence of the soul, this honouring of the soul is something that I feel sometimes has become quite elusive in our modern world, and that is why I pay very close attention to it. That is why we create a lot of space for soul in the women's school, and that is why I think that this topic of caretaking for your soul is one that can be a really big part of your daily life, and seeing that as a foundational pillar of life, to create space, to listen to the soul. And if you don't know exactly what the soul is for you, if you find that word difficult to relate to, or if you find that somehow very intangible to understand, then that can be a starting point to see, what is that for me? What does that mean for me? What does the soul mean for me? What is soulful for me? Where does that take place in my life? Where does that exist in my life and live in my life, and what importance do I place on it? Yes, and so it's a good evening, good night video in my part of the world, and I wish you the most blessed and soulful time of yourself, and I really do hope that you make some time to discover and explore the most amazing, unique soul that we all are, because there's only one of you, only one of me, and only one unique each of us. So, what an incredible journey that is, the adventure of becoming a caretaker, of taking guardianship of your own soul.